Hello and welcome to Solent Sports News. I'm Byron Goodchild and here are your lunchtime headlines. The only game in the English Football League tonight comes from the West Midlands, as Southampton travel to the Hawthorns to face West Bromwich Albion. The Saints lost their first match in 23 games during the week. This was following a 3-1 defeat to Bristol City at the Ashton Gate on Tuesday. Despite the result, Russell Martin's side sit third place in the league with a game in hand on second place Leeds. Manchester United are working on a deal to appoint Southampton Director of Football Jason Wilcox. Wilcox has been made aware of the interest, which would see him be given a senior role reporting on their sporting director. Having joined from Manchester City in the summer of 2023, a quick turnaround looks on the cards. Reigning champions Manchester City face Chelsea at the Etihad Stadium in a tea-time kickoff. Guardiola's side will hope to return to the top of the table if Liverpool fail to beat Brentford in the early Saturday kickoff. Chelsea are in good form after back-to-back away wins against Aston Villa and Crystal Palace, but still sit 10th in the table. Meanwhile, 19th place Burnley play host to title chasers Arsenal at Turf Moor at 3 p.m. tomorrow. Belgian manager Vincent Kompany will be watching the game from the stands. This is due to his accumulating his third yellow card of the season in the Clarets' last match against Liverpool. Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta says this period is an important part of the season.
I've given up on trying to figure out. I guess you get a punishment, you take the punishment. That's kind of how I look at it. And in the end, I'm too focused now on the squad, on the team. I said I don't prioritize the individual right now. We have to prioritize the team and the collective, and therefore, I can't dwell on it too much. We move on.
Certainly no, because it's the most important part of the season, and we know that every fixture is going to play a significant role in what we want to achieve, and Burnley is the most important one at the moment. It's a team that is extremely difficult to beat. You have to look at the results and how teams have draw or beat them, and it's been for very small margins, and they're extremely well coached, and it's a team that is very, very competitive. So we know that we have a very tough match on Saturday, and that's the only focus for us to continue to play with the same energy, the same enthusiasm, and just play the game, compete in the game in the best way possible, and the rest will come.
Red Bull Racing were the final team to reveal their livery for the upcoming 2024 Formula One season. Team principal Christian Horner was joined by Max Verstappen and Sergio Perez giving their thoughts on the reveal.
You can see it's an evolution of last year's car, but as our 20th version, the guys haven't been, it's not conservative, and you can see they've been quite aggressive in certain areas. You can see all the men and women behind the scenes have been working very hard, and some of the detail on the car is absolutely exquisite.
Excited. It's always very nice to see a new car come to life and how it's built up with all the people around it. When you do your seat fit as well, and for me at the moment it's more about just looking forward to Bahrain, get testing, get comfortable with the car, understand what it needs, and just work from there. It's such a long season that we just try to hit the ground running as good as we can. Really try to understand the car, and then we'll see where we end up.
A record-breaking day of cricket has come to a close in Rajkot. Ben Duckett hit 100 off 88 balls, making him the fastest Englishman to hit a century in India. This also made him the 8th fastest Englishman to score 100 runs in a test match. For the hosts, Indian spin bowler Ashwin took his 500th test wicket after dismissing Zach Crawley early in the innings. They too finished with England 207 for 2 chasing down 445. Did you know that the first base in Southampton was the first baseball simulator to exist in the UK? It offers a wide variety of things for a fulfilling experience. Here's a preview of what's to come. A long-awaited rematch between Josh Taylor and Jack Catterwall will take place in Leeds on the 27th of April. Taylor won the contentious split decision in Glasgow in February 2022. Plans for a rematch in March 2023 were then scuppered by an injury to Taylor. In snooker, world champion Luca Brassel and home hope Dominic Dell both reached the last 8 of the Welsh Open. Belgian international Brassel impressed as he beat England's Tom Ford 4-1 on Thursday evening, whilst Dell, the latest Welsh player in the tournament, beat fellow countryman Jack Jones 4-0. Sonar events are just one day away from accumulation of 3 months of work. They've been donated £1.5 million worth of equipment for an original basketball broadcast. The doubleheader will be part of the final major project, and Dan Baverstock went down to check out their new toys.
Behind the scenes at Sonar Events, a storm is brewing. They're preparing to host their biggest basketball production event ever, with all of their equipment costing more than £1 million. The Solent Kestrels are hosting a double-header tomorrow, as we spoke to Sonar event members during rehearsals about the exciting new opportunity that awaits.
A familiar face took home the trophy in Glasgow. Michael van Gerwen saw off world number Luke Humphries 6-5 in a thrilling affair. It marked back-to-back victories for second-time world champion who goes 3 points clear at the top of the Premier League table. Players will meet again in Newcastle this coming week for 4 of the Premier League. That's all we've got time for, but I'll be back at 4 o'clock with our main programme. See you then.